Number 1. It started innocently enough. I woke up one morning to find an anonymous message in my inbox. The subject line simply read, "I see you." Intrigued and slightly unnerved, I opened the email, only to find a cryptic message that sent a chill down my spine. "I know your secrets," the email read. "The darkness within you will be exposed." My heart raced as I tried to comprehend the meaning behind the ominous words. Who could possibly know my secrets? And why were they targeting me? I scanned the email for any clues, but it provided no answers, only a sense of unease that lingered long after I closed my laptop. Days turned into weeks, and the disturbing messages continued to arrive in my inbox, each one more unsettling than the last. They detailed intimate details about my life, things that only someone close to me could know. Panic consumed me as I realized that I was being watched, stalked by an unknown presence lurking in the shadows. The messages grew more explicit, delving into my darkest fears and insecurities. They taunted me, playing on my vulnerabilities, as if the sender knew exactly how to unsettle my mind. Sleepless nights became the norm as I became trapped in a perpetual state of anxiety. Unable to bear the torment any longer, I sought help from the authorities. They traced the emails to untraceable sources, leaving me with little recourse. Friends and family grew concerned as they witnessed the toll the messages were taking on my mental well-being. As the days turned into months, my paranoia intensified. Every stranger I encountered on the street became a potential sender of those disturbing messages. I questioned the motives and intentions of everyone around me, never knowing who was watching, who was lurking in the shadows. One fateful night, as I sat alone in my dimly lit apartment, a new message appeared on my screen. It contained a chilling ultimatum: reveal your darkest secret, or face the consequences. Torn between fear and desperation, I decided to confront the sender head-on. I mustered the courage to expose my secret, believing that it would somehow grant me reprieve from the torment. But as I revealed the truth, a new realization dawned upon me. The messages were not about exposing my secrets, they were about exploiting my vulnerabilities, driving me to the brink of madness. With a sinking feeling, I realized that the sender was not seeking justice or revenge. They were reveling in my pain, feeding off my fear. Their ultimate goal was to shatter my sense of self, leaving me broken and defeated. In the end, I chose not to succumb to their twisted game. I severed all digital connections, disappearing into a realm of anonymity and solitude. The messages ceased, but the scars they left behind remained, a constant reminder of the dark and unsettling path I had once traveled. To this day, I am haunted by the experience. I remain vigilant, knowing that the sender could resurface at any moment. But I refuse to let them define me. Instead, I strive to reclaim my life, building a new reality where darkness and fear hold no power over me. The disturbing messages may have left their mark, but they will not dictate my future. I am determined to rise above the shadows, seeking solace in the light and reclaiming the peace that was once mine. Number 2. It was a typical evening. I was home alone, enjoying the solitude after a long day. As I settled into bed, the distant sound of a creaking floorboard downstairs caught my attention. I dismissed it as the house settling, but a gnawing unease settled in the pit of my stomach. I tried to push the thought away, convincing myself that it was just my imagination playing tricks on me. Moments later, I heard it again, a distinct rustling noise, this time closer. My heart pounded in my chest as fear crept into my veins. I realized that I wasn't alone in the house. Panic took hold of me as I quickly reached for my phone, dialing the emergency number with trembling hands. Huddled in my bedroom, I strained to listen for any signs of the intruder's whereabouts. Every creak of the floorboards, every faint whisper of movement, sent shivers down my spine. I felt the weight of their presence looming over me, a sinister energy suffusing the air. The minutes felt like an eternity as I anxiously awaited the arrival of the authorities. Time seemed to slow to a crawl, my senses heightened to an almost unbearable level. Every shadow cast by the moonlight filtering through the curtain seemed to hold a hidden threat. Suddenly, the sound of footsteps echoed through the hallway. My heart skipped a beat as my breath caught in my throat. Fear and adrenaline surged through me as I clutched a nearby object for self-defense. The door to my bedroom slowly creaked open, revealing a silhouette against the dimly lit corridor. I held my breath, ready to defend myself against this intruder. But as they stepped further into the room, a flicker of recognition passed over me. It was someone I knew, a former acquaintance, their eyes gleaming with a disturbing mix of malice and familiarity. Their intentions remained a mystery, their presence in my home an invasion of my personal space and security. The realization that someone I once trusted could harbor such sinister intentions shook me to my core. It was a betrayal that cut deeper than any physical wound. In that moment, my instincts took over, and I fought back with every ounce of strength I could muster. The struggle was fierce, an intense battle of wills and survival. Finally, the sound of sirens wailed in the distance, signaling the arrival of the authorities. As the intruder's grip loosened, I managed to break free. They vanished into the night, leaving behind a trail of shattered trust and a lingering sense of vulnerability. The police searched tirelessly, but the intruder remained at large, their motives still shrouded in darkness. Since that terrifying night, I've fortified my home, investing in security systems and taking precautions to ensure my safety. Yet, the psychological scars remain, a constant reminder of the fragility of our sense of security and the disturbing reality that sometimes, the greatest threats come from those we least expect. The experience forever changed my perception of safety and trust. Number 3. It was a moonless night, and the darkness hung heavy in the air as I found myself walking alone through the desolate streets of an unfamiliar town. I had taken a wrong turn, and now I was lost in an area that seemed devoid of life. The streetlights cast feeble glimmers, creating eerie shadows that danced around me, fueling my growing unease. My heart raced with every step, amplified by the echoing silence that enveloped the dimly lit alleyways. I quickened my pace, hoping to find my way back to the main road, where the comforting glow of civilization awaited. But fate had other plans. As I rounded a corner, my eyes caught a flicker of movement from the corner of the street. I froze, a knot tightening in my stomach. There, standing beneath the flickering street lamp, was a figure shrouded in darkness. Their hunched posture and tattered clothing sent shivers down my spine. Something about them felt wrong, sinister. Despite the growing fear, curiosity got the better of me, urging me to see if they needed help. I approached cautiously, my footsteps barely audible against the backdrop of silence. As I drew closer, a pungent odor reached my nostrils, a mixture of decay and something far more unsettling. The stranger turned slowly towards me, their face partially hidden in the darkness. Their eyes, devoid of warmth or humanity, bore into mine, sending a chill down my spine. My instinct screamed at me to turn and flee, but an inexplicable force held me in place. Words tumbled from their lips, disjointed and laced with malice. It was as if the very air around us grew heavier, tainted by their presence. They seemed to know intimate details about me, details that no stranger should possess. Fear gripped me, but I couldn't tear my gaze away from those haunting eyes. As I tried to retreat, their demeanor shifted. A twisted smile stretched across their face, revealing rows of decaying teeth. They took a step forward, their movements erratic and unnerving. Panic consumed me as I realized escape was impossible. I was at the mercy of this disturbing stranger. A surge of adrenaline coursed through my veins, empowering me to break free from their gaze. I turned and ran, my heart pounding in my chest. Every shadow seemed to be their accomplice, lurking with ill intent. The once empty streets felt like a labyrinth designed to trap me. I finally stumbled upon a flicker of light ahead, a small convenience store that seemed like a sanctuary in the darkness. Bursting through the doors, I frantically explained my encounter to the store clerk, my voice trembling with fear. They called the police, who arrived promptly to investigate. But as the authorities scoured the area, the menacing stranger had vanished into the night, leaving only a lingering sense of dread in their wake. Their identity remained a mystery, and the chilling encounter forever etched in my memory. From that night on, I've been haunted by the memory of that disturbing stranger, forever wary of the shadows and the vulnerability that darkness brings. The encounter served as a chilling reminder that even in the seemingly ordinary moments of life, there are forces lurking just beyond our comprehension, ready to prey upon the unsuspecting and leave them forever changed.